Well, good morning everyone. Hope you're doing good and having a great week. To all my returning subscribers, thank you for your support. And to all our viewers and those recently subscribed, thank you and welcome to this channel. So today we're going to do an update to my vintage and generic silver rounds challenge collection. As you can see, I have my box out. And for those who've been following my channel, you have known that I set myself a challenge to collect all the vintage and generic silver rounds designs that I could find here in Singapore. And here are what I managed to collect so far. Over here on this tray are all my generic silver rounds, while over here we have all my vintage silver rounds. I've already done videos on all of them, and if you'd like to watch those videos, I'll leave the playlist to them at the end of this video. Now in one of those videos, I did talk about the generic silver rounds that were based on US silver coinage, and for this video, we're gonna follow along the same theme, and I'll be adding a total of 5 ounces of silver to this collection. All these silver rounds are based on US coinage, and I'll be going through them one at a time. But before we get into them, do leave me a like if you enjoy this sort of content, and don't forget to share and subscribe. So, let's get into it. Alright, we're back. Thank you for staying on. Now all these silver rounds here were found in Singapore, and I'll start with the biggest one over here, which is a 2-ounce silver round based on the US Mercury dime. Now the US Mercury dime, or the Winged Liberty silver dime, was issued in the United States from 1916 to 1945. The designer of that coin was Adolf Alexander Wyman. And as you can see on this Mercury silver round, the design of this round mirrors that of the Mercury dime. This round is in beautiful uncirculated condition. It's in almost proof-like finish. So let's just quickly go through the specification. This silver round is minted in 3/9 fine silver. It is a weight of 62.1 grams or 2 tri-ounces, a diameter of 47.46 mm, and a thickness of 3.5 mm with a fully riveted edge. Here on the obverse, we can see the Winged Liberty head design facing to the left, and surrounding it, we can see the word Liberty. This silver round is in metal orientation, and if I was to flip it to the reverse, we can see the fasces design familiar on the Mercury dime with the X over here and surrounded by olive branches. Right above, we can see the name of the round, Mercury, and surrounding that, we can see the composition of the metal, 2 tri-ounces, 3/9 fine silver. Unfortunately, there are no mint mark on this particular silver round, so I'm not sure who actually minted this. This round looks pretty similar to the ones issued by the Intaglio Mint, although the wordings on the reverse here are different from that round. And if you were to see the Intaglio Mint 2-ounce Liberty round, or the Mercury dime silver round, you will see that on the obverse, the round actually has a date right on it. This round here does not. I do also note that there's a lot of fakes for this particular design of silver round. You can often see them being listed on sites like Etsy, so do be careful if you intend to purchase one to add to your silver stack. Using the limited silver testing tools that I have in my collection, I can confidently say that this is an authentic 2-ounce silver round, and I actually purchased this from a reputable coin dealer here from William Ng Collection, the store located in Chinatown. Moving on, let's take a look at this beautiful silver round, which is based on the US Draped Bust series of coins. The Draped Bust series is actually the second series of coins released for US coinage, and those coins were issued from 1795 to 1808. The designer of those coins was Robert Scott, and those coins were issued in various denominations from $1 to as small as half a dime. Now the specifications for this round and the next 2 rounds that I'm going to show you are the same, so let's just quickly go through them now. The rounds are minted in 3/9 fine silver. They have a weight of 31.1 grams or 1 tri-ounce, a diameter of between 38 to 39 mm, and a thickness of approximately 2.5 to 3 mm with a fully riveted edge. Right here on the obverse of this particular round, we can see the portrait of the Draped Bust facing to the right. The portrait is surrounded by 13 stars and the word Liberty right above. This round is in metal orientation, and on the reverse, we can see the familiar design of the US heraldic eagle with the banner right over here and the words E pluribus unum, which is Latin for out of many, one. Right above, we can see again 13 stars, And between the talons of the eagles, we can see an olive branch and a bunch of arrows. Just above, we can see the composition of the metal, 1 troy ounce, 3/9 fine silver. Between the tail of the eagle, we can see the mint mark of the mint, a DT. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find out who this mint is, what this abbreviation of DT stands for. So if anybody knows what this 2 letters here, DT stands for, do share that in the comment section below. Despite that, this is an extremely beautiful round, and I'm quite happy to be able to add this to my collection. The final 2 silver rounds are the same, so I'm going to review them together for now. These silver rounds are based on the Lincoln wheat cent, which were issued in the United States between 1909 to 1958. The designer of the wheat cent was Victor David Brenner. And on these 2 silver rounds, you can see some slight differences. This round over here is in matte finish, while this round is in almost a proof-like finish. Now, this silver round here is actually minted by the Golden State Mint. You can see on the back the name of the mint right above, and the 2 wheat design. And right in the center, we can see the composition of the metal of 1 troy ounce, 3/9 fine silver. The initials of the designer of the wheat cent is right below, VDB, or Victor David Brenner. Now the bullion rounds minted by the Golden State Mint featuring the Lincoln cent are all undated. This date over here, 1909, I believe represent the first year of issue for the US Lincoln wheat cent. It's on the second Lincoln silver round that things become a little interesting. As you can see here on the obverse, we have this familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing to the right, and the words "In God We Trust" right above, and again the word liberty. But right over here we have the date of 1987, and this is actually the year of mintage for this particular round. So this is actually vintage silver. Now if I was to flip it to the reverse, this round is in metal orientation. You can see that this round was minted by AMC, or American Medallion Corporation. Now I actually found several AMC silver rounds design during my hunts here in Singapore, and I've been fascinated with their history. My research so far shown that this company has actually released quite a number of designs during the 1980s, and I'm slowly compiling a catalog of them, which I'll share in a future video. I was actually quite surprised to come across this particular round here in Singapore, this being a vintage round, and actually quite excited to have this in my collection. And unlike the previous round that I showed you, this piece over here from the Golden State Mint, this round is actually quite rare and does hold a significant premium if you can find them on the secondary market. Alright, I have all the rounds now in the individual capsules, and I'll be adding them to this tray, with the exception of this 2-ounce Mercury silver round, which I'll just place over here. It's now July of 2023, and this challenge of mine has been going on now for 7 months. I think it's been going on really well, and as you can see in this collection, the box is actually almost full. And I believe before the end of this year arrives, this box is actually going to be full. Anyway, it's been really exciting to collect all these different round designs which I found here in Singapore. And just to quickly share, in addition to these 3 AMC silver rounds which I've already reviewed on video, here we have the Bella Pool, and yes, I know, the E is silent. Here we have the Koala Bears, and here we have the Lincoln wheat cent. I do have a further 3 AMC silver rounds which I found here in Singapore, and I'll review this in a future video. And with that, I guess that will do it for this update video. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed watching me add the 5 ounces of silver to my vintage and generic silver rounds collection. And do stay tuned to my channel as I add more silver designs to this collection over here. If you do have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Otherwise, don't forget to leave me a like if you have enjoyed this content, and be sure to hit that share and subscribe buttons down here if you have not done so. As always, from everybody over here, y'all please take care, be safe, and have a nice day.